The downtown branch of First National Bank was crowded. On a busy Friday afternoon, customers waited patiently in long lines, while tellers processed deposits, withdrawals, and transfers. Business people checked their phones. Parents entertained restless children, and security guards quietly watched over the banking hall. The atmosphere was calm, even with the steady flow of customers. Near one of the teller windows stood 72-year-old Margaret Wilson. She wore a simple blue cardigan, comfortable shoes, and carried an old cloth handbag that looked as though it had been with her for years. Clutched in her hands was a worn bank book. Margaret smiled politely as she waited her turn, paying little attention to the impatient crowd around her. Standing directly behind her was Ryan Carter, a wealthy businessman who had just completed a multi-million-dollar property deal. Dressed in an expensive tailored suit and wearing a luxury watch, Ryan repeatedly glanced at his phone, clearly frustrated by the delay. When Margaret finally reached the counter, she smiled warmly at the young teller. "Good afternoon, dear," she said kindly. "I'd just like to check my account balance." "Of course, ma'am," the teller replied with a smile. Ryan sighed loudly enough for several people to hear. People still stand in line just to check their balance. He muttered with a laugh. A few customers exchanged uncomfortable glances. Margaret simply continued smiling. Refusing to respond, Ryan shook his head. "I can already tell you what it says." He joked, probably not enough to buy lunch. The teller politely ignored the comment and verified Margaret's identity before opening her account. The moment the information appeared on the screen, the teller's smile disappeared. She blinked, then looked again. Her eyes widened in disbelief. Margaret noticed the reaction. "Is everything all right?" she asked gently. "Yes." "Yes, ma'am." The teller slowly turned the monitor toward Margaret. At the same moment, Ryan glanced at the screen. His confident smile vanished instantly. The account balance displayed more than $48 million. Ryan stared without saying a word. The teller quietly explained, "Mrs. Wilson, your quarterly investment earnings were deposited this morning." Margaret smiled warmly. "Oh, wonderful. I thought they might arrive today." Silence spread through the bank. Ryan finally found his voice. "You're a millionaire." Margaret gave a small laugh. "I've been fortunate over the years." Ryan looked confused, "But why do you dress so simply?" Margaret gently closed her bank book. "My husband and I built a business together over 4 decades. After we sold it, we promised ourselves we'd never measure people by what they wear or what they drive." She looked at Ryan kindly. "Money can buy comfort, but it should never replace humility." Ryan lowered his eyes, embarrassed by the remarks he had made only moments earlier, as Margaret picked up her old handbag and walked toward the exit. Several people quietly smiled at her with newfound respect. Ryan watched her leave, realizing that the wealthiest person in the room had also been the most humble, and that the biggest lesson he learned that day had nothing to do with money at all.